everybody once again, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Unreal World. I am Wolfric. Last time we were finishing off getting ready for our hunting trip that's going on. We're nearly completely healed. Our food reserves at the end of the last episode were starting to go spoiled. If we take a look in our inventory, we have got spoiled roasted bear cuts. Those bear cuts, as I said before, they only last a few days, even roasted. So we've had about probably about a week if we were lucky out of that. So these 7 roasted bear cuts have probably only got 24 hours left in them, and then we're down to our roasted fish, which we only caught about a day or two ago, I think. So they should be fine for a little while, and then if all else fails, we've got the smoked elk cut. But this isn't really a whole lot of food. Probably only about a week, maybe a little bit longer if we're lucky. And our dried food in the village won't be prepared probably for about another 20 days. So we need to try and find some immediate source of food. But we should be alright for now. We're going to take a look at our physician skill again quickly. And the fracture is still fairly bad, but it's not awful. I mean, the injury is only -9%. And we're a bit tired as well. I'm not quite sure what we did to get that tired. It's the morning, and if we go to our tasks, our tutorial bit, it wants us to do an incantation. So if we go to our incantations, we've got a hunting incantation. So we F1 that, and this ritual is used to make your hunting trip more successful. It must be performed very early in the morning before hunting starts. So what we're going to do with that is that will hopefully increase our odds of success. So it's too late in the day to do it now. You need to do it really early morning, like dawn kind of thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one final little time to finish off getting ready for our hunting trip. So what we're going to do, that's the wrong button, we've got 2 rocks left, and we need to make some more cord, but that shouldn't be too bad. And we are going, and we've got 5 branches, so we've got more than enough. We are going to actually, yes, we have used the primitive cord, so yeah, we'll make some more. We're not going to worry about making them using the primitive branch technique. We're just going to rip up some crick bandages from, let's see, what do we got? If we make 2 bandages, that needs 2 pounds of cloth. We can use we'll use a little bit of our fur cloak, so we need to take that off first, so Shift T to take off the cloak. Because the cloak will still keep us just as warm, it just won't be as durable, so it will get, it'll wear out and break quicker the more harsh treatment we put it through. That's what the wear column over here means. It just means how long it is until it's useless. So by tearing bits off of it, obviously you're going to mean that it breaks sooner. But we should be fine. So we've got 2 decent cords from that, and our fur cloak is still 8 pounds. That's still a pretty heavy cloak. So that's still going to keep us nice and warm. So we're going to W to, no, that's wield. It's Shift W to wear. Put the fur cloak back on. And now we're going to make 2 cords out of those bandages. We're going to do it one at a time, as same as before, out of our new bandages. And we're going to repeat that. One more out of that one. There we go. So we've got, sorry, yeah, we made 2 decent bandages. We've now got 2 decent cords and 3 decent bandages. So those bandages will also come in handy for our hunting trip. If we do get injured by anything that we happen to be hunting, the sooner we are able to treat it, especially if it's a bleeding wound. If you start bleeding, if the wound is that bad, you cannot treat the wound itself until you've stopped the bleeding. And so the way to do that is to just tie a bandage around it. So we're definitely going to need bandages on us in case. I mean, we were very lucky getting away from that bear when we did before. So we are going to eat and drink. So we're going to have one of these roasted bear cuts, because they're going to be the next to go out of date. We're going to press D to drop, and we're going to drop these spoiled bear cuts. All of them. Is there anything else spoiled? No, there is not. So that's fine, we're going to do that, and then we're going to push it into the water. There we go. So there's that. and that's dealt with. That's not a problem anymore. Right, let's have a look. So next we are going to make those arrows. That was it. So Shift M, weapons, arrows, 2 cords. Wonderful. There we go. So that is all of our arrows made up. That's 10 arrows I think we've got now. 1 decent and 1 rough. So yeah, we've got 5 good arrows and 5 rough arrows. Basically the difference of quality with weapons, if it's rough it's -1 to damage, and if it's something like fine then it's +1 to damage, whereas 5 is average. These numbers can be found on the online Wikipedia. It doesn't tell you actually in the game, but you can find all the numbers that you'd need on the Wikipedia that will be linked in the description below. So we are going to now drop some of our stuff because we're going to go hunting. We want to get rid of as much of that penalty as we can. So we've got a -8% penalty to our carrying weight, a -12% penalty for our being tired, and a -9% for our injury, which totals up to -29%. So what we want to do is we're going to... the fatigue will go when we go to sleep tonight. That's fine, that can be taken care of. So the other thing we want to take care of is the carrying weight, so we need to drop 8% of what we're carrying. So we'll drop these branches because there is no reason for us to have them. So we're going to drop them here on this pile here. There we go. Now what else have we got? We've got 2 knives. We only really need 1 of those. So we're going to drop 1 in our shelter. We'll keep 1 on us for skinning an animal if we happen to take one down. We're going to drop the mace. And we're going to keep the hand axe. We're going to keep the bow. We're going to keep the arrows. And we're going to keep the javelin. Now javelin is probably, apart from the bow, the best... One moment. What have I done? Cancel? Cancel what? Never mind. Go into our skills. Our weapons. The bow is the highest skill at 80%. Our spear is 60. How good is our axe? Axe is awful at 45, but nowhere near as bad as flail, but that's fine. Club is what our mace comes under. So we're just as good with our club as we are with our axe, but both of those aren't as good as our spear. And unfortunately, the only spear that we have at the moment is the javelin, which can be used as a one-handed melee weapon. But really, as the description says at the bottom there, a light spear balanced to be thrown as a missile weapon. They can be used in melee combat, but their light and thin shafts make them more fragile. So coming up against a bear with a javelin at close range is probably not going to do much good at all. Javelins are really good for smaller creatures like squirrels and that sort of thing. But we've got the bow and the arrows, and if all else fails, we've got the hand axe. So I thought we dropped them, but we didn't. That was what it was trying to stop. So we'll drop the mace, drop 1 of the knives, drop them there. We're going to drop the harsh bear fur because that's £19. We don't need that. We've got a couple of bandages, that's all we need from that. And we are going to drop the smoked elk cuts, which is funny because that's the least heavy thing that we've got really, apart from these roaches. 8 smoked elk cuts, and it only weighs £1. And then you've got roasted pike here, 1 pike, and it's £7. That's how good preservation is of drying and smoking, because it just completely reduces the weight. But we're going to drop that. We're going to keep the bear cuts on us because they're going to go out of date very soon, and then we're going to keep most of this fish here. A lot of these small fishes we can probably wolf down in 1 meal and still be hungry, so that's fine. We won't be too weighed down because of that. But yeah, we'll drop the smoked elk cuts, we'll drop the harsh bear fur, and we'll drop the rest of that. That will do. That has taken us down to a -5% penalty. Is there anything else that we can drop? Let's have a look. Is there any clothing that we can drop? If we drop the fur cloak, because we don't actually need that really. I'm hoping that we'd be back to our shelter before it got too cold. We'll leave it on for now. We'll sleep. We'll keep it on tonight while we sleep. See how the weather is. What we're actually going to do is we're going to use the weather lore skill. We're only 24% skilled in it, but we're going to use it just to have a look. So it's Alt W. You smell the air and look up to the sky, predicting the weather. The weather is warm, the sky is clear, and there are no clouds. You are not very sure about this forecast, but you think the weather is getting warmer. It's possible that it's going to rain soon. So it's noon today, so we've got at least another 16 hours of game time really until we get up to go on this hunt. So we're going to want to get to bed early as well. So what we're going to do now, while we've still got time, is we're going to treat this fracture. It may not be a good idea, but we're going to try it anyway. Branch, we've dropped all of them, so we're going to pick one up from this pile up here. One. And position, fracture, splint. There we go. After treating the fracture in the abdomen, you consider it healing just fine. So we've actually made it better than it was before, so that's fine. That will hopefully heal a bit more overnight while we're sleeping. So is there anything else that we can do to prepare before we go hunting tomorrow? So we've got arrows, we've got a javelin, we've got a primitive bow, we've got a hand axe, we've got a knife, we've got our clothing. There's nothing that we can repair really. You can, if you go into the make menu and go into clothes, this icon at the bottom, repair worn out clothing. So if you've got, like we've got that bear hide, 19 pounds of leather, fur rather. If these rough fur footwear, if this bar was here, if there was any wear to them whatsoever, we could actually use the fur to repair it. You can actually use items of other items of clothing to repair other items. So for instance, we have wow, we don't actually have a matching set of anything really. We've only got a couple of fur items. But say there was wear to the fur footwear, you could use the fur mittens or the fur hood or the fur cloak to repair the footwear. We could use all of those three items to repair the fur cloak, or at least part of it. Obviously the bigger the item, the more material it's going to need to fix it. So this fur cloak was probably about £12 of material when it started. Well, maybe a bit more. It's at half wear now and £8, so yeah, about £16 of fur there. So that'd take everything we've got there and a bit more. But we're not going to worry about that for now. Well, there's not really a whole lot more that we can do in preparation for this trip. I guess we could make a few more arrows. Find some more rocks. I believe there was a big... oh, there's one there. Because there's no guarantee that when we do go hunting we're going to be able to hit our mark on the first try. So we're probably going to lose a couple of arrows in the process. So it wouldn't hurt to have as many as we can get. There's another rock down here. This is another good reason you want to be set up near a river, because there's always loads. No, we don't want to step into the water. You find a lot of stones around the water's edge. Later, when we look at building a house, and we're going to need a lot of logs for that. So, because logs are very big and heavy to move, the best way to do it is to use a raft, because there is currently no carrying capacity on rafts. You can just laden them up with as much material as you want. That is actually going to change. That has not been the case. That has been the case for a long time now, that it had unlimited carrying capacity. However, the developer has revealed in his recent patch notes, I believe it was, of what's upcoming very soon, is that the rafts are going to have a carrying capacity, so you cannot just load them up indefinitely. However, they will be introducing the ability to float lumber downriver. So a lot of people find when they want to settle down and build a house that they will do it on the water's edge, make a raft and just go along the water's edge, go along the river and cut down the trees closest to the river like these ones here, and then just move them onto the raft and into the water, and then to row them home takes very little energy whatsoever. So then you find where you want to set up shop, so say here, move the logs onto land and then build your lakefront cottage, so to speak. So, and when you do that, when you want to build a house, you're going to find a lot of stones nearby which are going to be useful. These big these big stones here because you need 20 of them to build a fireplace. And when winter comes, you need a fireplace. Fireplaces are good. So how many rocks have we actually got? Oh, we've got 10 more rocks. We can make 10 more arrows out of that. So let's see. I'm really not too big on the idea of using much more of that hide to make cords out of, but we don't really have the time to make primitive cords out of branches because that's going to be too long of a process. Well, screw it, we'll use the bear fur. We'll do that for now, so we'll pick the bear fur up. We'll make some more bandages. We've got 10 rocks, so we want to make 10 arrows, 10 bandages in all. So that, maximum of 10. Need 10 pounds of cloth, so that's going to use up half of what we've got left of this. However, it's fine. You can never have too many bandages, especially when you're a hunter, because if things go wrong, you never know when you're going to get injured. Even just searching out for the prey, you could get injured just falling out of a tree. Right, we're starting to get hungry, so we'll just make up some of these cords. We're starting to get tired now. We want to get to sleep soon. So, start making cords out of these bandages. One. And it's starting to get late, so that's 3 more cords that we've got, so we're going to quickly make 3 more arrows. The day has started to go a lot quicker than we thought, excuse me. So we're going to use these 3 cords here. There we go, 2 decent and 1 curved arrow. So that's going to be about a -2 to damage, I think. So what we'll do is, when we actually are hunting, we'll use our worst arrows first, and then we'll have our better ones ready to use. Yeah, always save the best till last and all that. So actually we've got, so 7, 8 plus 5, 12. No, 13, sorry. So that's fine. Right, we're going to eat this roasted bear cut. We are going to drink. We are going to sleep. And we're going to wake up and we're going to go hunting. And we are going to do that in the next episode. The next episode, we are going hunting. I will see you next time.